Have you noticed how everyone's using Red Card and Mars again more recently, and have you wondered why these cards are suddenly seeing a lot more play? Well, here's a quick explanation. For starters, these cards have always been good, but the format at large has changed to make them so much more appealing now than ever. Rare Candy is popular right now, that's a pretty obvious thing to say, but because of that, players are putting their lot in with the idea that they'll get the basic Pokemon, Rare Candy itself, and the Stage 2 in their first 6 cards to take advantage of it in the early game. And well, Red Card and Mars make that much harder. And sure, there's always the chance that you give your opponent exactly what they need at any given time, but when you play the law of averages, you're a lot more likely to make your opponent brick than not. Of course, you're likely never going to use Red Card or Mars when your opponent has less than 3 cards in their hand, but the disruption these cards can provide even by taking 1 or 2 cards out of your opponent's hand is extremely impactful. At higher end play, it makes people think twice about using cards like Oak's Research, and if it makes your opponent think harder, it's typically a good card. When it comes to whether I personally prefer Red Card or Mars, currently I'd say I prefer Red Card, but for one reason and one reason only, which is the turn 1 play. By taking your opponent's hand down to 4 after their first draw, you make it so much harder from the get-go for them to want to use Rare Candy. And being an item rather than a supporter, it means you can play other supporters in that same turn. But obviously, not every deck uses that, so there's definitely an argument for Mars, as she can take hands down to 1 when used at the right time. It's all preference and matchup dependent. Are you playing these cards again? Which of the two do you prefer, or do you always find you end up giving your opponent exactly what they need when you do it? Because I think they're the epitome of "this card always works for my opponent but never for me" sentiment across players. But you tell me, let us know in the comments.